So, good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? This is our weekly update number 79. And today we've got some news about visas which have been released. We've got some news about EU family members as well that I wanted to share with you. All our YouTube comments are going to be talking about Padron Certificates. Got some really interesting comments on YouTube. We're going to be showing you our company reviews, interesting videos to watch as well on YouTube coming up. We've got a great news item, our Jane Says, all about EES and ETIAS. And then we've got a bit at the end about why you should be booking your holiday to Ibiza right now. Phew, it's going to be a good one. So, weekly update number 79. So we've got 16 people in the house already. That's great. But there's one thing I just don't understand. How is it already 6 o'clock here in Spain? I just literally was working. I don't know where that day went. So you're going to have to excuse me a minute and talk amongst yourselves. Have a chat in the thing because I haven't finished my coffee. And unfortunately, I don't know what I did with my notes. So we're not very organized at all today. I've got some fantastic notes. Here we go. Here's my notes. Don't worry about it. Have a chat amongst yourselves. How's it been this week? Have you been okay? Here's my notes. There we go. And the coffee is on its way. So there we go. Right, I'm back with you guys. Here we are. Let's jump into the chat then and see who's on. Steve. Hi, Chris. Passport due to be delivered tomorrow. Oh, wow, Steve. Nice one. I don't know if you've dropped me an email or not today. I'm a little bit behind my email, guys, to be honest with you. I'm caught up to 12 o'clock yesterday, but I had an avalanche of emails come in. I think this summer, people are wrapping up for the end of summer now, and it's Feria next week. So if you've sent me an email or a WhatsApp, I may not have seen that. So well done. Nice one. That's incredible. That's right on the 12 weeks, though, isn't it? Whew. Send me that photo of the visa. You're going over to stage 2. Excellent. And we've got, hey, Sun Joe, how you doing? Nicola, buenas tardes. Who else we got in the house? Hi, Chris. Thanks for this week's Out and About shorts. Oh, cool. I hope you liked them. I keep doing more. I keep thinking, do you know what? Every time you see something interesting or think of something that you might worth sharing, just get it out there. And when I've been out and about this summer, I've been taking loads of videos with a little camera that I've got. So I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for that. Some of them are rubbish, maybe. I did this one about what it's like to be a bee going through the garden in the Alhambra because I had my camera and a selfie stick and thought it was quite funny. But, you know, just keep putting them out there. And what else have we got here? 40 degrees in Matharon. You guys have had it really, really, really warm this year. I'd say a lot warmer than we've had it. I'm just going to get my coffee. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't seem to be able to do a live without a coffee. Yeah, it's been really, really hot in Murcia. Definitely a lot hotter than here. And who else we got on? Alan, hi, how you doing? Mike, how you doing? Mike, he's got the patience of an absolute saint at the moment, waiting for his paperwork. Let's see, end of summer, hopefully it'll all come in. Paul, how you doing? Afternoon. And Stephen Moody, hey, how you doing, guys? Watching and still for Acro. Wait, Steve and Pauline watching and still waiting for Acro. I think that probably is. So we've got 30 people in the house. This is incredible. I better start telling you some information then, hadn't I, about what's been going on in our world. Now we're here, got the notes, got the coffee. Here we go. So visas, Manchester to Murcia, 8 weeks. Okay, that's great news. Really good news. But this came with a message, and I wanted to read this message out to you for those of you who are applying for a visa. I thought this message would be quite useful because it relates to problems with the couriers. So good news, got the visa. That was 8 weeks, so that's amazing. We finally have got our visas after a week of DX not delivering. That's the courier company. What a company of cowboys. We decided to go and collect them after 4 non-deliveries. They were due to be delivered Friday the 1st of August. We finally got them on Wednesday the 6th of August after traveling 3.5 hours from the Nuneaton to their Grimsby depot to collect them. So that was 8 weeks with a requirement letter, but so we had to give more documents for this application, but an absolute nightmare with the couriers to get the visas. So you get a text telling you your visas are on the way, and it looks like the courier in that area didn't work. We had another one from Edinburgh to Almeria, which was 8 weeks as well, and a London to Malaga, which includes a requirement, which was out in 4 weeks. So yes, some good visas out, and considering it's summer, we seem to be doing well. That said, we've now got 4 different applications in Manchester, I think we counted today, which are hitting the 12-week mark, where at that point what we normally do is put a polite letter together, which should include any proof that our clients have with their travel plans, the fact that they are going to have nowhere to live, etc., and send that to the consulate via email and by registered post, just to see if it gives them a nudge, because at 12 weeks they should have released the visa. And I've got some stuff to show you here as well. Let's get back on to the chat and see who's out there. Tony, how you doing? I saw you drop me an email, but I haven't got to it yet, but I have seen it. I will get to it, don't worry. And Neil, 8 weeks now and homeless on the 28th of August. Don't worry, can't be long, Neil, now. So they got up to 12 weeks, but there have been a few dropping in at 8 weeks. And it cares 44 degrees in France. Wow, that's high. Good to see you. Bonsoir. Is it bonsoir territory yet? Buenas tardes. I don't know what buenas tardes is in French. Patricia, hey, how you doing? Still waiting patiently. Yeah, Europe. Yeah, you're one of the 4. Got to be imminent. That's up at 12 weeks. Got to be imminent now. That visa dropping in. I mean, the good news is we haven't got any horrific 14, 16, and 20 weeks like we saw last year from Manchester. They do seem to be dropping in. And Stu and Jessica, congratulations to all of those who received their visas. Such a great feeling. It is. And we don't celebrate it enough here in the office, I have to say. And Trudy's in the house as well. Right, so that's our visa news, what we've got going on with visas. Renewals for the NLVs, nothing this week, apart from one really crazy requirement letter that we got, which we answered today, asking for a passport that we'd already submitted. So I'm not too sure why they didn't look at it properly. But yeah, apart from that, absolutely nothing back on the renewals. We have got some huge news coming up about 365-day non-lucrative visas, but you're going to have to wait and look for the video, which is coming out especially on that. And we had our first appointment today with a new 365-day visa. Okay, but I am going to do a special video on that because it warrants more than just 2 minutes on here. So look out for that on our channel. Right, what else have we got? So we have EU family members. For those of you who are applying as an EU citizen and an EU family member, I was doing an application the other day, and you go into this back end of this system called Mercuro. Mercuro is an online government system. I can probably show you actually. Where if you've got a digital signature, you can submit your applications online to the government. Now, let me show you what Mercuro looks like. Here, might as well. Now I've actually learned how to use the screen share software as well. Here we go. So that is the page where, if you are a private individual, you need to go through. You can see here, this is where you book your appointments for the to go and register TIE cards, but also there at the bottom, we have Mercuro. Mercuro, you open it up, and then in here, you can sign yourself in. And this is where you submit your application. So you've got here various options. You've got an option of an individual. Okay. You can access it through representation. So if you're accredited representation, if you're accredited notarized person who can represent somebody on their behalf, you can go in there. If you're a gestor, it's this one. That's for a graduado. So that's for people who qualify by being graduated through university, through various qualifications, shall we say. And this one is for lawyers. So anybody who's qualified to submit, whether you're an individual or act on somebody's behalf, can be submitted here. Now, on this platform is where you submit the applications. And I thought I'd show you the back end a little bit. So I took a couple of screenshots. The first screenshot I took was this. And this actually asks you, what is the status? And this is what the choices you get when it asks you the status of the non-EU person. So you've got a, you are basically the carer of of somebody who's non-EU. You could be a registered couple, which should be marriage. You could have a registration of a relationship which is duly tried. So I'm trying to explain, debidamente probada. So basically proof of a relationship which is not registered. That's the most difficult one. Unregistered partners. It's extremely difficult. Normally the only way that you can push one of those through is if you have a child in common, which creates sort of a registry document in commune. So the birth certificate will have both your names on it, and you submit that instead of a marriage certificate. Another member of the family for motives of health or disability. Another member of the family who has lived in the country of residence. Obviously, you have over 21s, which are which you basically a tu cargo, so you fund their life. Again, over 21s is extremely difficult to get through unless you can prove that ever since they've been under 21, you've had to fund their life for whatever reason, which could be a disability or something along those lines. And you can see they're under 21s as well. So that's the options that you get when you come to apply for a family member. And then this is the paperwork they ask you for. So when you go onto the back end, they ask you to hand in these different bits of paper. So you've got here, and this is very similar to other applications that you use. Mine's just loaded. I don't know if you can see that yet, guys. So we've got recursos económicos. That is your economic recourses, so the funds that you need. You've got here documentación acreditativa de seguro de enfermedad. That's your health insurance. Volante or certificado de empadronamiento. We're going to talk about that in a bit. What is a volante and a certificado de empadronamiento? Excuse me. I always prefer to have a certificate over a volante. Pasaporte, you have to upload every page of the passport for the non-EU citizen. You'll see the next one down is the passport for the EU citizen. Only a copy of the passport page is required. Not every page, because they won't have any stamps because they're a EU citizen. Certificado de registro de UE. That is the residency certificate, your little green residency card that EU citizens get. And you also have, in your case, it says documentación acreditativa de encontrarse a cargo. So if someone, this is when we go back to over 21s that may be dependent on their parents because of illness or disability, uploading it there. Yeah, the little bit at the bottom as well that says otros documentos que se desea aportar. There's also there at the top, it was Documentación Acreditativa de Vínculo de Familia. That is the accrediting document which proves the family ties, which is in most cases a marriage certificate if you're a married couple. So there you go. I thought you'd like to see the back end of Mercuro. What else have we got going on here? So we have Mike. There we go, Mike. He did have a comment about his legs, but I think they're absolutely fine, Mike. Well done. First year renewal with his Upsticks folder there outside Malaga. That was obviously a very late appointment because by the time Mike got out, there was nobody there. I reckon that appointment must have been about 5 to 2 or 2 o'clock even. But well done. Thanks for sending the photo across and congratulations on getting your renewal. And what else have we got going on? And a couple of reviews here. Got some interesting stuff coming up from YouTube, guys, as well. So stick around for that. And from Moida, thanks. Used Upstick for our NRV. Excellent service. Used them again for year 2 and 3. We can't thank them enough for all the help. They went above and beyond to help us. Chris, Jane, Julie, and the rest of the team have been a godsend to us for living our new life in Spain. We would highly recommend them. Thank you, guys. That's much appreciated. We're getting close to that 200 review mark at the moment as well. And here we've got from Fran and Paul Adamson. We recently moved to Spain and honestly couldn't have done it without these wonderful people. They have walked us through every step, been there for us via email and personal calls. Our experience has been perfect. Thanks to the help this firm has provided. Don't hesitate to contact them if you're planning your dream life. Thank you, guys. It's really nice, you know, for not just for me, but for everybody that we work with. You know, it's they're very passionate about their jobs, and it's nice to share this and get it out because really those reviews are for them. I'm the guy who just sits here talking on YouTube, but behind the scenes, wow. So what else have we got going on here in the comments? Paul Cook's in. How you doing, Paul? Good to see you. Evening. And fingers crossed for others still waiting. Yeah, but I'm very positive at the moment. You know, this time last year, I'd been pulling my hair out because of summer and Manchester. But this August, things have been moving, and they really have. You know, a lot more than we saw last year, and even more so after the law changed. I'm happy with that. So, good luck, guys. And correct, bonsoir, very well pronounced. We are on Shandy and Nibbles. What is Shandy in Spanish? Claro con limón. And funny, Shandy, if you go to Catalonia, they call it champú. Yeah, champú. Yeah, you go and order a champú in a bar, and they'll give you a beer and Fanta lemon. Not a beer and a Sprite, it'll be a beer and a Fanta lemon. They call it champú. And here it's a claro con limón. Or you could simply ask for a cerveza con limón. You could actually ask for a shandy, believe it or not. If you just say shandy, they know what it is. All right. So the shandies generally come pre-made in bottles. All right. So they actually says shandy on it here. They've adopted that. Or claro con limón, they would bake it themselves, which is a lot nicer than the bottled stuff. The bottled stuff is just so sweet and horrible. It's unbelievable. Cerveza con gaseosa. Yep, there's a cerveza con gaseosa. So gaseosa isn't the cloudy lemon like a Fanta. Gaseosa is like a sweet Sprite type lemon, which I think is horrible with beer. Neil, get the old claro con limón on the go. It's too sweet, gaseosa. Washing hands. So, right, what else did we have to show you? Okay, so that's it. We're already 20 minutes in. We are now going to move on to our next section. And our next section of today is, where are we? It's Jane Says. If I can get it up. Okay, so you've seen it on the internet, but the EES system and ETIAS system is coming into play. What I'm going to ask you guys as well, who follow the channel, up to 36 people online. This is getting good. Let's see if we can get to the 40. Is if you are having experiences going through airports and you see this happening, if you can grab any photos that you think is going to help anybody, or give us any information about what is happening out there at the different airports, drop me an email to youtube@upsticks.es, and we'll read it out on the weekly updates and give everybody that information for people's travel. So we only know really at the moment you can go on to ChatGPT, go onto AI and say, give me a resume of all the articles that you're seeing about when these things are going to kick in. But really, as we know, it's all about the experience. So if you guys are out there and you are traveling and you see anything that you think would be useful to share with other travelers coming in and out to Spain, let me know, youtube@upsticks.es, and we'll get it out on here for our community. So Jane says, entry and exit system, EES. From the 12th of October 2025, the Schengen area will begin implementing the EES. Wow, that's only 2 months away. Replacing manual passport stamping with biometric checks, facial recognition, and fingerprints at external borders. As a TIE card holder, you will be registered through this system when entering or leaving the Schengen area, but you do not need to complete any pre-travel registration. Just show your passport and TIE card at border control. Now, I've got a couple of questions about this. This is a couple of things I'd love to know. Is first of all, okay, then, so the facial recognition checks, we'll pretty much do that when we go into Stansted now, for example, and it works fine. You put your passport. I always put it the wrong way around, and then it goes, says turn it around. Put your passport in and do your facial recognition check. That's fine. Now, as for the fingerprints, now this could be quite tricky. You know, for those of you who have been through the TIE card process, and for those of you who've been through the TIE card process with us, you know that the fingerprint process isn't always that simple. Some people have very dry hands and the machine doesn't work properly. This is why they do this comical thing in the police stations where they make you do this to get a bit of grease on your hand. Yeah, it's hilarious. Every other appointment, the policeman will start doing this in front of the clients, going, people look at me going, what's he doing? You know, is this part of the test to get into Spain? Can I, you know, but it's not. It's to get grease on your hands. So it works. I'm not too sure the fingerprints. So some people, they just don't work at all, especially smokers, believe it or not. Smokers have difficult fingerprints. And we've had people who have got fingers which are missing. So they've had to move from one finger to the index finger to the middle finger. So what finger is it that you're going to use? Is it any finger? Do you have to identify the finger? I'd love to know that. So anyway, that's the question. If you go through, let us know. ETIAS, European Travel Information Authorization System, not to be confused with EES, the entry and exit system. Planned for late 2026, which I think is going to be probably be early 2027. ETIAS will require short-term visitors from visa-exempt countries to obtain a travel authorization before entering the Schengen area. As a legal resident with a TIE, you will be exempt from ETIAS when traveling within Schengen. Just show your passport and your TIE card at the border. So that is within the whole of the Schengen area. You can travel your passport and your TIE card. And the last one is have you ever traveled yet, guys, within the Schengen zone, now your residents? It's really, really strange because you don't go through passport control. So like when you travel evidently within Spain, like to Lanzarote or Ibiza, we're going to touch on that a bit later on. Here in Malaga Airport, and I'm not too sure about other airports around Spain, you actually arrive back in departures when you're traveling within the Schengen. It's really confusing because you literally go through duty free, go to the D gates, and then you arrive at departures. So it's like, well, hang on a minute, what's going on here? You know, I'm at departures, but I'm at arrivals. And then if you want to go and get your bags, you have to go all the way down the stairs to get your bags from the departure lounge. It's very, very strange. Let us know if you've ever done that. So we also have the UK ETA system, which is just for the UK, and this applies to certain foreign nationals visiting the UK. UK passport holders are exempt. So if you've got a UK passport holder going in with a TIE card, you wouldn't need one, evidently. Not that your TIE card counts or anything when you enter the UK. So you do not need to apply for the UK ETA. Your British passport alone is sufficient for entry into UK, regardless of your Spanish residency status. But say, for example, I was traveling with my friend who was Spanish. then they would need that. So, okay, then let's crack on with our next. Let's crack on with our next item, which our next item is for you. YouTube, and we've got quite a bit coming up on the YouTube for you. Here we go. So should we get stuck into some interesting stats? Oh no, there's one of these stats that I didn't actually bring up. Hang on a second. Let me bring that up for you. Hang on a minute, let me bring it up. So the stats of this is quite interesting, this stat. The stats of the genders of the people who watch the channel. Let me just see if I can bring it up here. Let me just show you this for you. So this is Facebook. While I'm bringing this up, it says here that our Facebook followers are 61% women, 41% men, and the age looks about correct. Our biggest demographic is 55 to 64 years old. But our YouTube channel says that it's 84.6% male and only 15.4% female. So how come we've got 61% female followers on Facebook? Do more females use Facebook, than men? So is it more a female thing than men, and YouTube is for a men thing, or are people using other people's accounts? So maybe you have an account between you. So what account is, for example, linked to the telly? I've got an account, Lara's got an account, but my son's got a YouTube account, and generally it's his account which is linked to the telly. So if we watch anything generically, we watch it through his account, and that would create maybe a false stat for a channel that I watch. Who knows? But anyway, let's get on to some interesting videos. Before we get into the comments, now we've got some great YouTube comments coming up for you. But before we get into those, I just want to show you a few videos that I want to highlight that you need to watch. So, first of all, we have the Brexit renewal videos. Okay, so the Brexit renewals, they are coming up now, the people with their resolutions. And those Brexit renewals are going very, very well. I've done a whole video on that, and that is going to be released tomorrow in the afternoon, so check that out. We've also got what we're topic of the day, Padron. So this is what I put in the title. We are going to be on Skatz's channel at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and it's a full recap of what a Padron certificate is, the different types of Padron certificates, how to get a Padron certificate, why you need a Padron certificate. We went over it all again. And so you want to get on to that 10 o'clock Saturday morning on YouTube Spain with Skatz. I will be there. We've been having a Padron week. Don't forget, if you want to get a bit of a brief of what we will be talking about, then that Skatz has also got his Padron video, and that is released now, I believe, and that gives you a brief of what we're going to be talking about. So anybody who's moving to Spain needs to watch that video because it's such an important document, and that is on the YouTube Spain channel now. And moving away from the Padron, at the weekend, Saturday at 6 o'clock, we have got a great podcast coming up. Mark, who is the director of Spain Walking Football, who contacted me and offered me to be one of the sponsors for the World Nations Cup, which happens in October in Alicante and Torrevieja. We agreed. Upsticks is going to be there as one of the sponsors. It is absolutely huge. There's going to be teams from all over the world, and we have the podcast coming behind the scenes talking about Spain Walking Football and the international tournament that is happening in October in Alicante, of which we are one of the sponsors. I'm very proud to be so. We got involved in that because we sponsor the Moina International team, which is here close to Antequera. We've been one of their sponsors for nearly 3 years now. They wear Upsticks on their away shirts everywhere, and these guys found us through that team, and it's an absolutely booming sport. It's a sport which is just going absolutely off at the moment. Walking football, I was saying to Jane today, could be giving, it's a new option for people who never played football before but want to do sport, want to get involved in something in the community. Walking football is fantastic. So check out that podcast Saturday at 6:00. And we have hit, guys, 42 people on the live. That's a new record. We've never gone past 40. So I'm really pleased with that. So going to go back into the chat before we go to the YouTube comments. And we've got here Andy Alma watching with interest today. Thanks, Andy. If you've got any questions, let me know. If I can answer them, I will do. Peter, hi from a very hot Hampshire. Yeah, I was just talking to my father before it came on live, and he said that he got up to 35 degrees in the car yesterday. So, wow, that's really hot. The Wandering Smoker is Tanya. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? Now, Tanya is our very good friend and also our neighbor. We're our old neighbor, but the thing is about Spain. Let me speak to you about Spain. If you've once been a neighbor with somebody, you're always their neighbor. You're always their neighbor. Now, Tanya was my neighbor when we lived in Loja in Granada, and I did see you were down on the coast, so I hope you're enjoying that. Which means Tanya's always going to be our neighbor, even though we've moved and we no longer live there. She'll always be my neighbor. One great example of that was when we went up to a communion in Loja about 6 weeks ago, a couple of months ago it would be now. I bumped into my old neighbor who was actually the house right next door to us, Manolo. And his first words are "¿Qué pasa, vecino?" which means "What's up, neighbor?" And I haven't lived there for 15 years. That just sums up Spain, doesn't it? So yeah, great to see you on, Tanya. And I remember Champu in Roses, also like Radler. That's it. That's another one. You've asked for a Radler. You can get the Radlers in bottles, can't you? So that's cool. Yeah, the Radlers in bottles. So where are we here now? Andy coming into Alicante on the 10th of October. So we'll miss out on the ESS system start. Doesn't matter. Tell us what you see getting set up, Andy. Let's tell everybody out here what's going on. I'm not going to be going in and out of Alicante. So I was about to say take a photo, but I don't think you're allowed. You can get in trouble for taking photos in airports. In fact, Lara in Menorca nearly got in trouble because she was taking a video with the kids and the Guardia Civil came and told her that she watched her delete it. And then she did the same in Italy this year and got in trouble again. So I don't think you'll have to take photos, but just let us know. Give us a report back. How are they setting up the machines? What's it looking like when you go through? Like Ripper, I reckon I'll still being held hostage in Spain when this comes in. I didn't know that was valuable. Yeah. I'm hoping it comes out. You've been waiting so long, Mike. You're so patient. You really are. But you will get your resolution soon. Don't worry. You are officially the person who's been waiting the longest on our list, I'm afraid. Just signed in on second device. Does that count? I think so. I'll tell you what we do need to do, though, guys, is we need to get subscribed. Only 50% of people who watch the channel actually subscribers. Actually went up to 53% this week. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, because we're getting close to 5,000 subs. We are at the moment, I'll tell you now, where are we? He says, I'm going to tell you, well, no wonder we haven't got 5,000 if I can't even work the back end of YouTube. 4,828. I was hoping we're going to hit 5,000 by the end of the year, but we're going to hit it by the end of summer. So that's cool. And Donald here, Scouts were trying to find out which air ferry ports the EE system was rolling out to in October. You've just arrived. Oh, no, because you drove, didn't you? So you wouldn't have gone through anywhere. Yeah, I'll talk to Scats about that. Kelvin, I hope you're well. Tell your customers the BLS London was busy but very helpful staff. Now for the wait. Best wishes, Kevin. Yep, well done. You've done really well to get your paperwork up and together. We had a good chat this week, and yeah, I'll leave that up there for everybody who's going to BLS. It's very busy, but the staff were very helpful, so that's good. I'm glad you had a positive experience there, Kelvin, and now the wait starts. And the Wondering Specs said, I'm a woman, love learning and love YouTube. Yep, love learning and love YouTube. I love YouTube as well. 38 watching. I've got 41 here. Look, 16 likes and more likes. Anyone reckons Chris and Upsticks help? Cheers, guys. Yeah, we're breaking records here today. Peter says, lovely. Oh, bring that up. Greetings from a sunny Tenby. Hey, Michael, how you doing from Tenby? Neil and Peter, we are both from Basingstoke. I bet that's warm as well. And maybe give a free fan to the school. Oh, yes. What about the fans? Now, I had some positive news about the fans. I'm going to show you a fan in a minute. Right, we've been through that. Let's not waffle on. Let's get on now with our comments from YouTube then, shall we? And I'm going to bring one of the fans on now, Stu. Don't worry, soon. Definitely free fans. Everyone wants one. So Paul Nipper said, great video and shows off Granada very well. We plan to take a trip down one day from our house in the Gandia region. We're both now residents. Congratulations on your residency, Paul. And make sure that you do get down to Granada. And any of you want to see a little bit of Granada, check that video out on our channel. Now, here we've got some questions here. This is about the Padron Certificate, which is our topic for today, topic with SCATs. Hi, Chris. This is from Paul. Again, it's on the chat. Hi, Chris. Which comes first, applying for your Padron or applying for your residency? Looking forward to chatting with you guys in October. Applying for your Padron comes first. Okay, so in the timeline of a visa application, you apply all your documents, get documents together, apply for your visa, get your visa, move over, apply for your Padron, and hopefully the Padron's in place for when you go to register your visa at the commissariat, at the police station. If the Padron isn't in place, because some places give it to you immediately and some places they'll give it to you in a month or 2 months. In Vélez, Malaga, it's 3 months. Malaga, it's around a month. Then when you go to register your TIE card, you need to take at least some sort of proof that you've been and registered on the Padron or proof of where you're going to be living. But normally for the first time registration in the bigger provinces like Alicante, Murcia, and Malaga, they don't require a Padron for the first time registration. You'll definitely need it for the next one. Well, say definitely. If you haven't changed your address, maybe not, but you should have one for your renewal. First time registration. I hope Jane's not listening because she'll be pulling her hair out now going, don't tell them that, Chris. Everybody needs a Padron. That's just the way it is. You can get away with it, but it's one of the most important documents. So visa, it's visa, move to Spain, register on the Padron, go and get your TIE card. If you haven't got your Padron at that point, you maybe get away with it. We manage that process with you. If you're getting an EU residency, then you don't have to be a resident to sign on the Padron. You sign on first and then use the Padron certificate as your proof of where you live when you go for your EU appointment. And that's also when you apply for an EU family member, you have to get a Padron which is called convivencia, which means you live together. And that's proof. Further proof to the government, because you apply on the Mercuro platform we showed you before, is proof to the government that you're living together as a couple. So Alan says, hi, Chris. So I arrive in Alicante province with a fresh TIE card. I'm going to need a Padron certificate before I can register TIE. Is that correct? If so, what do I need to do? And what do I need to take with me? Right. Okay. So I will put an article below which explains about the Padron. Let me just write that here. I'll put it in as soon as I finish, I'll put it in the description. Apologies for not putting the find my phone link last week. Someone pulled me up on that. That's now in last week's video, but I'll put the Padron article along with all the relevant videos I've mentioned in the description below. Check that out. That tells you exactly what you need to do. But yep, you arrive with a fresh visa, I think you mean there, and then you get your Padron and go and get your TIE card. Next up, we have got just a shout out to Yogi, who supported our Marbella Out and About short I did the other day. I just did one now. I went to see some of our lovely clients there, Michael, Rosanna, and Joe. I was with Joe, well, Mike and Rosanna, if you know from been on the channel here, we've shown them on the updates before, and I know they're avid watchers. So cheers for buying me coffees and accompanying me while I was waiting for my second appointment there at the police station, which I'm going to talk about in our Brexit renewals, because it was one of the first ones we had with the resolutions, and it was very successful. And I met Joe, who's actually Joe Ramirez, who was the Formula One legend from McLaren back in the day. And if you don't know who that is, Google him. He's also a good friend of ours who came to me for his residency years ago. We've subsequently made friends, and I was lucky enough to be invited to his 80th birthday party in Marbella, actually, which, if I can find a photo, I will show you. And Joe gave me at his birthday a signed print of Ayrton Senna, which proudly hangs on our office wall. Membrillos in Andalusia. What is Spanish quince? So yeah, I did a quick short about quinces because I found a tree in Granada, and we got this comment: Niños, the only reason I'm going back. Didn't get that from Serliki. Maybe I put it on because I thought you might be able to explain it to me, guys. But anyway, thanks for the comment. What else have we got going on comments wise? Oh, this was quite cool. Look, Bee's Eye view of the Alhambra Gardens. Now, the Bee's Eye view of the Alhambra Gardens, I had my 360 camera out and I dragged it through the flowers. And as I was dragging it through, I was like, oh, cool. That is a Bee's Eye view. All right. So, but I do have a favor to ask, right? So, Jamie Homewood, who is actually one of my best buddies and has been for, well, if I'm 47, I met him when I was 15. Do the maths, 32 years. Okay, Jamie's also got a channel, and it's a fantastic channel, and he actually does well-structured, decent videos about cycling. So I'm going to show you the channel here. It's in the UK, but if you're into cycling, you definitely want to join on to Jamie's channel. Here you go. Look, Jamie Homewood. There you go. And he's got all sorts of very well-structured videos. Look at this, you know. Look.
Morning. You've caught me mid-faff.
Oh, no, that's probably not one. Yeah, there you go. Good music as well. Loving that. But Jamie, for some reason, has only got 50 subscribers, and he does deserve a lot more. And he is my mate. So could you all just do me a favor now, guys, and jump on and subscribe, especially if you're into cycling, to Jamie's channel, because he does some fantastic videos on there about cycling. So there we go. Hopefully we can get him up to 100 subscribers this month. The what's here? Oh yes, on our African grade. Don't miss this one as well. We had a great podcast. It was fantastic. It was about how to bring a parrot to Spain when you're moving. What paperwork do you need to move with a parrot? And the Goblin said, before I even watched this, he probably loves it so much because the climate is so much more arid and the seasons fluctuate to less extreme ends. Being birds of Africa, I'm sure they appreciate a bit of heat that isn't the muggy, wet kind. Yep. Check out that interview, that podcast from last week. It was a fantastic podcast. And this was on, again, look at our shorts. I spotted a test car in Granada, and it's one where they've got them like wrapped, no badges, they're wrapped. And I've seen them a lot in Sierra Nevada. So I think they test them with the altitudes, the altitude chest performance tests. And Yogi said, great spot, Chris. We had an answer there. Genesis GV60. I said, do you know what it is? So there we go. I'm going to Google that, a Genesis GV60. And Jamie said, I think it's a Merc, or isn't that a Merc? Could be the Genesis. Who knows? Check out that short and give me your opinion. And here we go. What do we have here? Steve says, surprised with the device type stats I always watch on the desktop. Yeah, it was strange. I was surprised more people watched us on a telly, to be honest with you. And more comments coming up. That's from my Arroyo Miel short. Arroyo Miel is a great place to stay in Malaga. It is. Check it out if you ever come to Benalmádena. Arroyo de Miel. Go up there, have some food, walk around the streets. Need Body said, oh, it's Barry from Unitech. I know, Barry. I can see your sign there. See, I know it's you, Barry. I love pomegranates. Used to eat them with a cocktail stick when I was a kid. Maybe that's why I bought a Ford Granada. It's all subliminal. Yes, it is. And if you've still got that Ford Granada, it's probably worth a few quid now as well. We need to do a show on 90s cars in Spain, because they still drive around as dailies. And I'm sure they'd be worth a fortune. They've got to be worth buying and locking up in garages. Missed the live, but catching up now. Hope things go well for your health, Scats. Yeah, and Scats, I'd like to thank, you know who you are. I've got an anonymous donation for Scats to help him with the channel from one of our joint sort of YouTube followers this week. So thanks for that. And every little helps, because it's difficult when you're out there performing. Don't forget, Scats is still doing his shows and he's still got the Stommer bag, so he's doing amazingly well this year. And the shocking NLV change. One day's talking about, the 365-day NLV shocker. Has it been confirmed that the new TAE will mirror the visa sticker date on our passports? There's a video coming soon. That's all I'm going to say. A video coming soon. We now have the first bit of confirmation about that from an appointment today, but it literally happened this afternoon, and I haven't been able to sit down with the entry stamps, with the visas, and with the resolutions. With the resguardos to see what's happening. Okay, then. So we're going to go on to our next section, but before that, let's jump back into the comments. Who's about? What we got going on? We like waffling, Chris. Ha ha. Yes, I do waffle on a bit when I'm on my own. I do, especially if I'm not that well prepared. And oh, here we go. I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. I've got some thumbs up. Maybe give a free fan. Yes, that's it. Let's get the fans. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Check these out. Here we go. These are the fans. Would anybody like a fan? Send me your address. YouTube at upsticks.es. There's 33 people on. I expect to get at least one address. These can be sent anywhere in the world. Don't worry. I will send these to anywhere in the world. Now, these have been renowned as the NAF fans because let me just explain now. It's Feria time. If you go to Feria, anybody's trying to do promotion or whatever, these are like gold dust. You can't get enough of them. Yeah, the people stand there, they're like, throw away. They're not there, These are fans. Look at them. So I thought these would be great for our appointments, to put them in the folders. So when people are at the appointments and they're getting warm, they can just stand there and cool themselves down. But when they entered the office, they were known. I was so disappointed because I was waiting for Jane's approval. And as soon as I pulled them out, she was like, they're naff. I don't think they're naff. But anyway, today, one of our couriers turned up to pick up a package and he went, what's that? I went, oh, it's our fans, but they're naff. So I've still got 500 to get rid of now. And he went, they're not. They're amazing. I'm going to the fair tomorrow. I'm going to take a load with me. And helped himself for a big load of fans. So you will see them around Malaga. Anybody wants a fan? YouTube at upsticks.es. Send me your address. So, Julie Palmer's on. Hey, Chris, hope you're well. Patiently waiting, coming to 9 weeks. Yep. Now and counting NLV. 9 weeks. Not 12, but 9. Getting there. And we've got Kelvin. Forgot to tell you the stuff on the BLS that they were happy with the customers from Upsticks comes in because they start again, Chris. Forgot to tell you the staff at the BLS, London BLS, that they were happy when the customers from Upsticks come in because their paperwork are always in order. So that's good. Oh, that's nice. So we are fans of the fans. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, guys. Support for the fans. Still 36 people on. Send one to Hotel Helios. I will do. There we go. Address to you. Give me your room number, but don't put it on here because everybody will be knocking on your door. I'll tell you what. Do me a favor, email YouTube at upsticks.es and I'll send you a couple up there. There you go. I think the fans have hit the yeah. I think they're okay. Hi, Chris. It's Paul and I would love a fan. Think they're great. Right. There's one coming to you then. Yeah, definitely. You can have one each. In fact, I can send some for your family because I've got loads. Linda Morgan. Hi, Chris. Finally remember to join your live. Cheers, Linda, for joining in. We're still at 38 people at the moment, which is absolutely awesome. Right. Okay, then 2 more sections coming up, and we are going to go now to our news item, which this is actually a news item from our own news feed on the website. So I thought it was about time we gave ourselves a little bit of promotion about our news feed as well. Back up to 41 people. What's happening today? This is awesome. So on the Upsticks news feed, so if you go to our website and you come here to the news feed, there you go. You can see that we have lots and lots of interesting articles. We have over 350 articles here. A lot of them are related to the videos that we do, but there's also lots of interesting stuff here. There's things about the low emission zones. You've got everything from the updated. This is actually from March. We'll probably have to update that again. So much interesting EU family unification, residency in Spain, all you need to know. Just so many interesting articles there. National Police Station Torrelinos, National Police Station Benalmádena, what IT stickers are where and what colours mean and more. So much on there going back. But there's one article which I think is very important, and it came to light this week, and this is the Alert Cops article. I actually wrote this in 2022, but Alert Cops is a app which you can have on your phone, and you can basically use it to call the police in an emergency and various different services. So it's in English, it's in French, it's in German, it's in Italian. So if you're living in Spain and you don't have this installed in your phone, go to our article, have a read of it. It's definitely something which is good to have installed in your phone. All right, guys. So Alert Cops, the article's there. It's there with screenshots. There's even a video at the bottom there as well, which actually isn't from our channel. It's directly from the police, which shows you how to use it. So there we go. That is Alert Cops. And now our last section of the day. Let's bring it up. It's in Spain. So let's bring up our out and about folder, shall we? Did I do everything from visas and residencies? Yes, I did. Okay, then just going to jump back into the chat, see what's going on down there. Tony says, Gal only said the other day that I was so hot she could do with one of Chris's fans. There you go. There you go. Tony, you're definitely getting a fan. I'm going to check out your email. Is that you with an appointment? Let's see when I get into my emails. Might be tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow is a bank holiday here, and it is officially the first day of my holiday as well. But don't worry, my emails will be checked every day for emergencies and anything needs to be responded to. But officially, I'll be on holiday till the 1st of September. But I will be on the live next week as well. Who knows what I'm going to be talking about? If I'm not at work, I'll have to ask Jane. But we've got the backup here. Jane's here. Guillermo's here. The translators are all still working. And we will all be here for emergencies, and anything that's not urgent, I'll then answer at the end of our holiday. Unfortunately, we did have people approaching us for renewals. Evidently, for our clients who have renewed for before, we'll time that correctly. But for new renewals, unfortunately, we couldn't take them on. You have to have a break. And you also have to be realistic about what the amount of work that's going to be at the end of that holiday period. So, yeah, we had to let a couple of people down, unfortunately, this week. But, right. So, just to wrap up today, we're coming up to the hour. Still 36 people on. Going on holiday when you live here in Spain. Now, the reason this came up was I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day. We've actually planned to do a little short break to Portugal. And it was because we saw some cheap flights and I thought, well, there you go. It's a Friday to a Monday. It's over a bank holiday. And we said, let's go for it. And I'm going with a couple of friends whose kids get on with our kids, and it's all good. But the winter breaks now, it's time to start looking now at your winter breaks. But you can still go and visit those places, which are typically summer places. Now, I brought this one up because this is one we did not so long ago, and it is Ibiza. Now, we went to Ibiza about 4 years ago, just after the pandemic, for Lara's, my wife's, Lara from Upsticks Drive, for her birthday, which is the end of January. And I just thought I'd have a quick check this today, see what the flight prices are like. Now, this is with a very popular airline, and you'll all know what popular airline it is if you use their app. Okay, but check these prices out from Malaga to Ibiza in January, and it's pretty much replicated over the, can you see that? There you go. Replicated over the whole of January and February. You can literally get from Malaga for 26 euros. You know, by the time you've chosen your seat, and if you don't go with the priority, then I reckon about 70 euros return. Okay, that's an amazing price. Just it's an hour and a half away, and you know, for a winter break, Ibiza, believe it or not, is really cool. So I thought, oh, I'll check Alicante, see what prices they're coming up at this popular website. There you go, from Alicante to Ibiza, which is closer, 50 odd euros return, and cheap as chips. Now, I would advise that you look across all airlines. Use ChatGPT as well. That you have a look for me online. When's the best time to travel? And if you're going as a family of 4, for example, we always get the cheapest flights, no frills, no priority. You don't need it in Spanish airports. Priority, just a small rucksack each, but then put a bag in the hold. Okay, so everything goes in a bag, which means you're not on board fighting with bags and all stuff. You've got your rucksack with your phone and your book to read, and you get off the other end. For a weekend, you only need a 20-kilo bag. For a family of 4, jobs are good one. But you're thinking, well, Ibiza's shut down, isn't it, in the winter? Well, do you know what? It's absolutely lovely. The town is slightly quiet. That is true. Okay, but this is just one example. But we went, and I said some of the photos that we've got, that was from the castle, watching all the ships from Formentera coming in. The town itself where we stayed, very reasonably priced. There's a boat trip which took us across the port, I think they call it, and it was 6 euros to get to the other side. And it's only a boat taxi, but it's like a tourist bus, really. It's fantastic. And there was just a couple more photos here that I pulled out. There you go. There's still the big yachts in the port there. Still plenty of people there enjoying it in the winter. And you can get car hire extremely cheap and just go around and find these random abandoned beaches. This was right at the other end of the island, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Everything that you're not going to be swimming in January, but you know, we found some lovely little restaurants to eat in, and you know, if you're not going to the disco, it's a fantastic little trip, either Menorca, Mallorca, or we did Menorca as well, or Ibiza in the winter. If you live in here, you know, for the cost of a small meal, you can jump on a flight, grab yourself a little car, and have a couple of days out. So there we go. And I think that's us. Ready up to the hour. 34 people still on. Thanks, guys. Any more questions, let me know. Anton Kez says, could we have 4, pretty please? Yeah, definitely. This is good. The only thing is, these are now going out in September, guys. I'm not coming back in to send out fans. I'm going to end up coming back in at some point, but there we go. And 2 for us and 2 for our cousins coming over soon for a cognac or a Hennessy cognac. Oh, nice. We'll send photos as proof. Yes, send your photos across, please. And what other comments we got? I've got your address. Yeah, I got your address. I'll dig it out. And they said, Counter Care said, at least you won't have toll problems like the last time. No toll problems. Flying. And so, yep, there we go. We'll send you fans. See, they are popular. This makes me feel good because I was concerned that they were naff. Oh yes, and send me your son's address. YouTube at upsticks.es. Just send it across to there, and anything that goes into there gets actioned. And I know I've got some of these details, guys, already. But if you send all your addresses and that into the YouTube, then it gets processed by the guys here, and I'll be like, send a fan to that address. And Nicola said, thanks for a great update, or another great update. Cheers, guys. Right, well, that's it. I will stop waffling on now. We've hit the hour. Thank you so much for tuning in. We broke all records today, 42 people at the maximum for the live. Don't forget all the videos that I showed you at the weekend. If you want to get in touch, let's quickly put the book a call up here. There we go. Book a call. If you want to get in touch about non-lucrative visas, residency, or whatever, drop us an email to support@upsticks.es, or you can book a call using the link. And we will see you next week. Well, I will be in holiday mode. Next week I'm off. So who knows? I could be wearing the Upsticks shirt. I could be wearing one of my Hawaiian holiday shirts. Now that'd be fun. Whoever wants to see an Hawaiian holiday shirt for the next update and live, let me know, and we'll see what we can pull out the bag. Thanks for watching again, guys.